If you want a career that pays pretty good, become a small engine mechanic. Trust me. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm trying to get my lawnmower fixed. It actually runs pretty good. My problem is, the only way I could start this thing is I have to take a baster type thing, stick it in here, siphon some gas, and shoot it down the throat of the intake here. And once it's running, it's fine, but for some reason it just cranks. There's actually right here is a fuel pump. From what I understand, it uses a vacuum in the head, and it senses when the piston goes up and down, and it actually pumps gas. So I took this hose off, cranked it over, and it's shooting gas. That was the only thing I could think of that it might be. So I'm at a loss. I took the float off of this carburetor, checked it, and I don't know. I just don't know what's going on. There is some electrical connectors here. See, right in here, there's an electrical connector that does something. I'm not sure what. This, I found out, is an actual, it's like a petcock for the carburetor. So when you turn it off, this little cylinder goes in here and it closes off fuel from getting into the float and flooding your engine. So this is an electric like shut-off valve. So this works even on the old one. I just tested this one. I think that's the choke part right there, and then you have your throttle blades here. So I really don't know what's going on. I've checked form after form after form, and I can't find a definitive answer as to why this thing won't start without me putting a bunch of fuel in it. I did read it said something about this engine has some type of fuel management that it senses the battery, the load on the thing, and adjusts the. I don't know how. I don't know where there's a computer or something in here. I mean, maybe there is. I just don't see it. There are a lot of wires. Yeah, but I don't know what else you're gonna do when you got a hurricane coming and it's dumping a bunch of rain. I mean, we're not getting hit per se. We're just getting the occasional little outer bands. I figure this will just get my lawnmower fixed. Whoa, I got the parts here. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Got my tickets for LS Fest. I just talked to our friend Josh over at Chicago's Finest Moment, his channel. He might join us over there at LS Fest. So fingers crossed, and that would be cool. Definitely be seeing KY Chevy there. He happens to live in the Bowling Green area, so be seeing him. That'd be cool if I could meet up with 2 viewers. Maybe there'll be more. If you guys can be in Bowling Green for LS Fest, let me know. Try to arrange something. But until then, wish me luck. I'm gonna try to get this carburetor, or I'll get the carburetor out, put a new one in, and just hope this fixes it. And once I get that carburetor out, I'll take it apart and try to figure out what went wrong. I thought I kept my original carburetor, but I must have said screw it, these things are kind of cheap, and just throwing it away. And figured if another one broke, I would just buy another one. But man, it wasn't as cheap as I thought. It's almost like $45 for a damn carburetor. Which, by the way, the other day I was at Lowe's. They had one lawnmower out front. One. I mean, we got a lawnmower shortage. I mean, we got a shortage of everything going on. I'm not sure what the hell is going on anymore in this world. They did have a couple of battery-powered zero turns inside. That was pretty interesting. I'll tell you, all the stuff like this, I wouldn't mind going battery. One, I could imagine how expensive that damn battery is for that thing. I mean, it's bad. The zero turn's $5 grand as it is. And then then I don't know. Hopefully it wouldn't break, but yeah, $5 grand for battery powered. I didn't even think you could do it. Battery powered 0 turns, and it's not by Tesla. All right, I'll check back in with you and let you know if this new carburetor works. Wish me luck. All right, let's see what it does. I don't think we got a carburetor problem. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I'm at a loss. I really don't know. Take our baster. Fuel from this gas tank. Well, that was a lot. Put it in the carburetor. And now it'll start. Stay running, no problem. So it's getting fuel. I don't know why it won't start on its own. But yeah, that's the confusing part to me is I squirt gas down the carburetor, it starts, it'll run forever until I turn it off. I've cut the grass to do anything. I turn it off, I can't get it started back up. Now if I turn it off, once it's running, if I turn it off, I start it back within a little bit, it's fine. But once it's been sitting, no, because I tried to start it. Once I put the carburetor on, I cranked it over and it went a while. It didn't start, so I put a little gas in there, got it running, figure I get the carburetor primed. I let it sit here for 5 hours. Came back and started, and that's what I showed you, and it won't start. I don't get it. Like I said, once it's running, it runs fine. There's absolutely no problems. I don't get why it won't start unless I prime that thing. So it doesn't seem to be any fuel flow issue because it runs. I don't know. I do know that there's supposed to be like a valve adjustment that maybe the timing's slightly off. I don't know. I might just have to bite the bullet and pay the big bucks and bring it to a machine shop. These guys make more than auto mechanics. I think the last time I had a lawnmower looked at, it was like $75 or $85 an hour is their labor rate. That's a lot. All right, well, waiting out the storm, so I don't even know where we go from here. So we'll see you at the next scene. Hey everyone. Sorry I didn't have the video posted by Friday. Just honestly really haven't had anything going on. Just enjoying that retired life. Although I did post some stuff for eBay, or for you on eBay. As you guys, I mentioned before, I used to be really big in the car audio and had a whole lot of amplifiers and stuff laying around. So I was able to go ahead and sell a few of those. Some money in the bank, which is nice. Well, I have this thing, might as well use it. I didn't think these bolts would be that long. And I've just been waiting for some stuff for the lawnmower to show up. I have a pair of valve cover gaskets. And believe it or not, I don't own feeler gauges. Except for now I do. I have a small one for doing spark plugs and other stuff, but I've just never had the need to do to have a spark plug. I've never had a need for feeler gauges. I've never done anything that fine of work. So there we go. According to Briggs & Stratton, the valve lash should be at .004 to 006. Now, seeing how this is something you're supposed to do every year, I'm just going to go ahead and set it for the minimum. Usually I would shoot for right down the middle and go 0.5. But if these things go out of whack that easy, I don't know. So the only thing I could think is if the valve lash, if the rocker arms are that loose, it's not pushing the valves down as far as it should, So maybe the intake valve isn't opening as much as it should, and it's not inhaling or not creating enough forced vacuum to inhale the gas into the cylinders through the pump or whatever. So it's the only thing I can think. God, man, they glued this freaking valve cover on. God, man. You want to take your feeler gauge, put it here between the tip of the rocker arm and the tip of the valve spring, or the valve there, and move it in and out, and just make little adjustments there until, like that, you can feel some drag, and then that should be it. Then what we'll do is we'll turn this motor over. This valve spring and this rocker arm's coming up. That one's starting to go down, so now we know that there's no pressure there. That thing's really tight. There we go. We'll have to spin it till it's kind of loose. So I pulled the spark plugs out to make it easier to turn the motor over. Plus I wanted to check them, and look, that looks pretty good. I think there's any problem. I'll double check the gap, but like I said, the lawnmower's been running fine. So that's basically it. Just turn the motor over, and then when you feel the valve is loose, I watched some videos and they were like, oh, get top dead center, put something in there. I mean, first it's a 4-stroke, so the piston comes up twice. So there's 2 top dead centers. So I mean, really, well, not 2 top dead centers. There's twice the piston comes up. One's your compression stroke, and then one's an exhaust stroke. But what I found is, even though this one would be loose, the bottom one would be tight, and I'd still have to spin the engine over maybe about another 180 degrees for the one to get loose. So when they're loose, generally, that's to me the easiest way to tell. That's when you should be adjusting it. There's no actual pressure. The valve train's loose. I really don't think this is going to fix anything, because there wasn't a whole lot of adjustment to be made, but you can see here I got my rag in here, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to clean this gasket stuff up. That way I can, this isn't going to work. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is going to fix it. It didn't seem to be a lot of adjustment that needed to be done. I mean, it was a little bit. Definitely wasn't as bad as some of the videos I watched. So, fingers crossed. So actually what I found out is, whatever rocker arm is pushing in, make sure it goes all the way in, and then set the lash on the other rocker arm, because that seems to be the loosest point for it. I figure if top dead center was so important on setting on these things, Briggs & Stratton would leave a mark on the dang engine. Then again, like setting the valve lash on Project Z28, there was no top dead center, and do the thing, you have 8 cylinders, 16 valves. So you would just move the engine until you had slack in both. Well, I kind of had my own way of doing it, but it was like a quarter turn of the engine at a time, and you just kept tightening it until there was no play. Oh crap, I forgot that. Alright, I gotta let this stuff cure for a little bit, and I'm gonna start it up, and hopefully it works. This has been sitting for about an hour, but the silicone set up and all that. Everything's
bolt it down. Let's see. Now I'm gonna be honest. This thing's never been the easiest thing in the world to start. It's always taken like a lot of cranks. But let's see what happens. Choke going. Brake is set. Uh-oh. Almost started. Oh man, that fixed it. Well, fingers crossed. I mean, like I said before I started, that lawnmower has never been one to just crank over a couple times to start. It's always taken quite a while. But it's gotten to the point where it would never start. So I guess any little bit just is really amplified with it. But yeah, that's about where it used to start at, that much. But anyhow, I just went ahead and cut the grass. And something I was experiencing before was like lack of power, like throttling through thick grass. It just was bogging down. I was also getting a little bit of sputter and misfire. Or I'd say sputter, not really like a misfire, but it just, even at idle it was kicking. Man, she was butter smooth, cutting everything. So happy, but sorry, I really didn't mean for this vlog to be lawnmower repair 101. But you know, sometimes I'm just an average guy. I don't have a lot going on, so apologize for that. But I want to get this video out because I want to put out a couple of things. It's me and the wife's 3-year anniversary, man. 3 years with the Angry Rooski. Nah, I do love her. She's a beautiful woman. She's hardworking. I do admire her for all that. You gotta admire somebody that moves to a country from another one, not knowing a language, learns a language, goes to school, starts a career, buys a house, and establishes themselves long before, you know, our paths ever crossed. So, I mean, she came here with a few bucks in her pocket, became a homeowner, became educated, and got a really good job all before, you know, we ever met. So, I mean, that is friggin' astounding. So, yeah, I just love her a lot. So, we're going to have like a little getaway. We have an Airbnb booked. Pretty cool. We're going to go do a few things for our anniversary. And then when we get back from that, I got one day and we're off to LS Fest. So let me know in the comments down below if you're going. I know KY Chevy's going to be there. I'm pretty sure our friend Josh at Chicago's Finest Moment, he's going to be there. So this is sounding pretty cool. Hopefully, maybe I'll run into a few more people. It should be a pretty cool event. I believe Cletus from Cletus and Cars is going to be there. It should be kind of like Camaro Fest drag races, except for to have drifting. I think they don't have drifting at Camaro Fest. There's going to be like a big market, car show and stuff like that. So try to bring you the coolest LS swap stuff. See what's out there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see some third gens with the LS, man. You guys know how I kind of feel about that. I mean, I don't know, I'm not totally against it, but for my purpose, I really want to see what the old 350 can put out. So, still waiting to hear back from Brian on the next tune. It is a holiday weekend, so everyone stay safe. Do not drink and drive. Be around for the next video. Thanks for watching. Like, shares, comments, definitely appreciate it. It really helps out. So just go do a favor, just leave a thumbs up. You know, it doesn't cost anything. Second of your time, so definitely appreciate it. Hang in there. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.